Today, we are taking a look at the brand new Mario game. Well, slightly new Mario game. About half of a new Mario game. Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Yeah, great intro. Basically, this is like a 2-for-1 deal here. A remaster of a Wii U game and a brand new side mode. So first I'm going to talk about the 3D World portion for a bit and the changes in that version. But then we'll move on to Bowser's Fury and I'll talk about that for the majority of the video. After that, I'll say which mode I liked more and finish with what this means for the future of 3D Mario. Because this right here, an open world 3D Mario, has a lot of potential, so I want to give some ideas for that. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's start one step at a time with Mario 3D World, a game I've surprisingly talked a lot about on this channel. I swear I didn't even plan to make this many videos on it, but hey, let's get on to it. So firstly, what's new around here? Well, for starters, everything is a lot more sped up. Most notably, all of the characters' movement is a lot quicker. This is a very welcome change, as I thought the movement in the original was pretty slow. Either that, or it's just because I literally played this entire game while only walking, but regardless, it's an improvement. Literally, the funniest thing to do now is just to pick Toad. It's hilarious how quick he is. Look at this little runt, how fast he just zips around. Jeez, I feel like a speedrunner just playing this. It can be a bit hard to control sometimes, but you know, it's all part of the challenge, and it was enjoyable. Toad?
Here we go!
Toad, what are you doing in the corner? Toad? Toad? Toad! Also, if you're wondering, that ice crouching momentum glitch still works, and it's probably faster with the new speed. Whee! And other things were sped up too. You enter pipes quicker, fireballs move faster, and you can climb up higher with the cat suit. They even tweak your moveset slightly by giving you probably the wimpiest mid-air dive I've ever seen. Ugh. But it can still save you from barely missing a jump, so I like it. Also, the resolution is increased from 720p on the Wii U to 1080p on Switch. It's subtle, but nice. And then the pointer controls had to be reworked for Switch, and they're fine. Now you press R to bring up the pointer on screen to tap on anything like the Wii U version. Yes, the Wii U was easier where you just tap on the gamepad, but this is probably the best they can do with the Switch. And those are some of the main changes, but other than that, it's just Mario 3D World, a great Mario game. There's a lot of worlds and levels in this game alone, and is a great linear platformer. This also contrasts nicely to the other non-linear Mario game on Switch, being Odyssey. And you'll really enjoy this if you haven't played it yet. Oh yeah, I guess they did add a new online multiplayer feature, but my Switch Online expired, and I really have no desire to renew it, so yeah. I hear it's a pretty typical Nintendo Switch Online experience, and you can only play with friends, but don't take my word for it. The Switch version overall I'd say is better than the Wii U one, but they're not that different if you've already played the Wii U one before. Until we get to Bowser's Fury, which is like a whole different side game / side mode that comes in this package. And it's possibly the most interesting new Mario mode we've seen in a while. Because it's open world. Yes, I never thought I'd see the day, and surprisingly enough, I think a Mario game can work as one. It's essentially a bunch of different separate Mario levels as these islands, but all placed next to each other. And each of them offers a different challenge of sorts that also change when you come back. And even though it seems like a simple change, it's actually pretty cool to just be able to go anywhere. A great mix of linear platform levels on the islands while still allowing for the freedom seen in open worlds. Plus, they give you Plessie as a way to fast travel on the water. That's awesome. Just look at him, he doesn't care, runs right over everything and steamrolls right through the trees. And this mode gives you full 360-degree camera controls, which is much needed. Okay, so let's talk about the objective here. You can't just be roaming around aimlessly the whole time, you need to collect cat shines. Yes, cat shines. You heard me right. Okay, side note, but what's the deal here with cats this time? I get it, you have a cat power-up and some occasional cat enemies in the original, but now you're literally in Catland. There's cat arches, cat plants with cat paw flowers, cat trees, cat lighthouses, ancient cat murals, just, well, literal cats, and every single enemy in this section is a cat. There's even cat seagulls and whatever this cat abomination is supposed to be. Yeah, safe to say, I'm over this little cat phase of Nintendo's. It doesn't even change how you play, They just made everything into Catland. Anyways, back to my point, you need to collect these cat shines to open up more of the world, and of course, to defeat Bowser. I mean, I probably should mention the title of this game at this point, the Bowser's Fury part, because this mechanic in the game is not that great, to be honest. Kind of annoying. So what happens here is randomly when you are playing along, it will turn nighttime and Bowser will appear to annoy you. He shoots a fire beam and makes lava rocks fall from the sky. And while not really a bad mechanic, after a while it just gets annoying and breaks the pace more than anything. See, in this kind of open world play style, it causes the player to plan their routes out and collect the shines in however order they want. The navigation planning is in your hands. So when something like this is constantly breaking that game flow, it's not that great. The battles are kind of fun though, where you're just Lion Mario, I guess. Ugh, I don't even know about this cat stuff anymore. And you have to fight Bowser. It's a fight you play many times, but they always keep adding new elements to keep it interesting. Plus, Bowser's design is really cool. One of the scariest looking iterations of him. Also, I do just like how the landscape plays out in this mode. They really use the verticality of these cliffs to their advantage. Like, besides just looking visually appealing, these cliffs let you focus on the goal to climb up to the top and get the cat shine. And once you're there, you can gaze out to the other islands and plan out where you want to go. Kinda reminds me of how the towers in Breath of the Wild work, to be honest. But the main thing that really appeals to me about this mode is just the freedom and exploration that it provides. Each island has a linear path of sorts, but there are actually many ways to scale it that you have to find for yourself. I don't even know if these were intended or not, but they're fun to find. For example, I once saw this giant wall over here that I used Plessy to jump off of to then get on top of the wall. Then after finding this secret cat shine, I used this wall to walk all the way to this island where I climbed around this pipe and went in through this hole, which skipped a big part of the island. And that was cool finding out how to do that section in a different way. But even with this great concept, there are still some complaints I have with it. Nothing too major really, but just some things to keep in mind if they ever want to make a game like this in the future. And I'm not talking about the Bowser's Fury part either, just because I already went into that before. Firstly, having a run button in this type of game doesn't really work that well. This is merely because it is mapped to the Y button. So normally it's not a problem because I would just hold down that button and then rock my finger over to the A button to jump. But now we have a controllable camera, meaning you can't really move the camera at the same time. This just causes it to feel really sluggish at times when moving the camera since you can't run at the same time. This is honestly a simple fix. Just map the run button to a trigger. Easy, done, problem solved. Also, Bowser Jr. looked a lot cooler than he turned out to be. He's honestly the most pointless thing added here. You just point and click to send him to a painting, which usually just gives you a power-up. Or you can send him to defeat enemies or get coins. Plus, he makes the challenge of getting these collectibles non-existent, removing all the fun. Like, man, why can't you swap characters or something? I want to ride around and control that clown cart. That would be perfect for an open area like this. And finally, my last complaint here. I don't know if it really makes sense to have power-ups in this style of game. I mostly found myself using the movement power-ups like the cat or Tanuki suit. And this is because the entire area is built around finding your own way to traverse the land, making the only real useful power-ups here these two. Sure, the other power-ups are better than nothing, but they give you so many bells and leaves that there's really no reason to use the others. And since they let you carry so many power-ups in this mode, I found there was never any fear I was gonna die from something. Just look at this inventory here. But yeah, that's Bowser's Fury for you in a nutshell. I like how they made this into a very open mode that goes with the linear game of Mario 3D World. So if you get this game, you can experience two different Mario playstyles. But which of the two games is actually better? And for this comparison, I'm not going to be looking at length as a factor, and this just because it's kind of an unfair part to compare since one is a bonus mode really. We're comparing which is the better experience when playing. So Bowser's Fury was a cool and different new game mode for Mario. But as much as I liked it, I'll go with Mario 3D World is the better game. It just had a much better focus. All of the levels are tightly designed and the character's moveset complements the levels very well. The movement, power-ups, and level mechanics all work together. While Bowser's Fury is very open and a great concept, I feel that there are some elements that clash with one another. But that brings me to the last part of the video. See, Bowser's Fury, it wasn't perfect, but I think it has a lot of potential. And if they want to make another 3D open world Mario game like this, I want to give some ideas for what they can do for it. And maybe this can start a whole discussion in the comments after. I don't know. Up to you. I don't really care. Because a lot of people online have kind of been speculating that this is like a test of sorts of what an open 3D Mario world could look like. And I say, yeah, they could be right. I mean, I could definitely see this in the future. Well, I think after Mario 3D All-Stars release, this is now kind of out of the question, but what if they remade Sunshine with this idea? Imagine having the island fully explorable, being able to travel to all the different locations just by walking there. No warp pipes or graffiti paintings needed. The whole game teased this concept to begin with by showing the different areas from other worlds, so it's a perfect fit. Or just have a brand new world for a game like this. The sky's the limit for this idea. I mean, look at Odyssey. Wouldn't it be cool to have all those areas connected together in the actual locations as to where they are in the world map? Something like that would be really neat. But I mainly wanted to talk about this to give you my final idea. Why don't they just make Galaxy 3 like this? Imagine just having this large group of planets that you can all see in the distance and then go to. The launch stars are perfect for this kind of world. Or they can just give Mario a mini spaceship where he can fly around to the different planets too. They could have different areas to go to, solar systems in the background, and a bunch of movement options they could create. Nintendo, it sells itself. That's really it. In conclusion, make Mario Galaxy 3 like this. Mario Galaxy No Man's Sky Edition, because that would be a great idea. You can have it, in fact. I'm giving you this idea royalty free. See you guys later. I don't know how to end this. Bye.